channel, The Daily Netizen, and today we're going to be talking about an exciting. I don't know if I'm gonna phrase it or describe it as exciting, but it definitely is something that should interest Filipinos. All right, because as we have been saying over the past months, papunta pa lang tayo sa exciting part, and I think we're going to that exciting part. After what happened yesterday, and this is not something that I should celebrate or cherish because this impacts the nation as a whole. All right. And I'm talking about the two dueling or rival rallies that were held yesterday, one in Davao and the other one in Quirino Grandstand, I believe, in Manila City. And, you know, as they say, papunta nga tayo sa exciting part because looks like with Dutertes, I'm referring to former President Rodrigo Duterte, and we have a headline here. All right, we have a headline here with Duterte's speech accusing President Bongbong Marcos of being a drug addict. All right, and he even called him bangag a few times. I think, if I'm not mistaken, 3 or 4 times. All right, in that very accusatory and controversial speech. I think the Dutertes have crossed the Rubicon. And that's what we stated here on Twitter. This is our Twitter account. Okay, so we have only 42 followers. So please follow us on Twitter to get updated on recent and latest news, okay, and current affairs. So, all right, this is, by the way, Robin Padilla, Senator Robin Padilla, despite not agreeing with his politics, he did give us a shout out. All right, that's his actual photo because we were like debating. Yes, I debated with Senator Robin Padilla, and I was surprised that he's very articulate. All right, and he's a gentleman really. But as I told you, magkaiba kami ng politics. Hindi ako nag-agree sa kanyang ideolohiya, sa kanyang pagiging minion or follower or I don't know supporter of the Dutertes. Pero nire-respeto pa rin natin ang kanyang opinion, lalo na siya ang number one, alright? If I'm not mistaken, number one last senatorial election. So this is his personal shout-out because I said, oh, it was actually you trying to debate with me or arguing with me, sabi ko. And then, because we had this back and forth on Facebook, alright, regarding yung kanyang post nung Rizal Day kasi sinabi niya ang hindi marunong magmahal sa sariling wika ay higit pa ang amoy sa malansang isda. Sabi ko, that was a misattribution of Jose Rizal's quotation because he never said that. There's no record proving that Jose Rizal actually wrote in Tagalog when he was young. And inamin naman niya na hindi niya intensyon na sabihin sa kanyang post sa Facebook. I think that was on December 30th na hindi niya ina-attribute yun kay Jose Rizal. It's his personal opinion. And sabi niya, okay, it's actually me. That's why he posted this photo na Happy New Year, unknown vlogger, because I described myself as an unknown vlogger. It was not a waste of time. I had a good afternoon with you, he said. So he's, a gentleman. But going back to our topic for today. So this is our post on Twitter, and this is also the same post, but we did some kind of editing. We added some semblance to it or some kind of feelings to it. Kasi sa Twitter kasi mayroon silang character limit. But we're going to check on our Facebook post. On Facebook, we have a very few followers. So please follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, and we also have a TikTok and YouTube account. And this is the YouTube account. All right, so this is our post, our latest post on Facebook, describing or, I don't know, summarizing what happened yesterday. So, ang daming nangyari kahapon. Ano ba? Election na ba? At atat na atat itong magkabilang grupo na magbangayan. It's like, a campaign season. It feels like an election season, really. So, and just like that, and I'm actually pertaining to former President Duterte's speech na sinabihan niyang bangag at drug addict at magagaya ka sa tatay mo. Sinabihan niyang ganun si PBBM or President Bongbong Marcos. Imagine telling that to the president. All right. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, papunta na po tayo sa exciting part. And it looks like the Dutertes have sealed their fate and crossed the Rubicon. All right? Yung crossing the Rubicon. Wala nang no point of return na. Nandun na sila sa no point of return. Tama ba? Hindi na sila pwedeng bumalik. Once you did something, that can't be undone. All right? Nandun na sila. They've already crossed the Rubicon at tapos na. Let's wait for the Romualdez Marcoses move while their super ate, Senator Amy Marcos, is trying to infiltrate the Duterte camp. Question is, will PBBM kick M, all right, under the ICC bus? So the them I'm referring to the Dutertes and their minions or company. So, all right, bakit nga nagkaganito yung unity team? What the hell happened to this unity team? So, may mga theory or may mga opinion ng mga pundits natin, mga pundits ba o pundits, natin na nagkawatak-watak daw ang mga Duterte last year. But our personal or humble opinion is that there was never a unity team. All right, there was never a unity between the Dutertes and the Marcoses at all. All right, it was just a political marriage of convenience. Kung hindi nyo naintindihan yan, that's politics. Okay, so walang unity na nangyari. That's why nung nanalo ang mga Marcoses noong 2022 at nanalo rin si Sara Duterte, SWO, or Vice President Sara Duterte. Alright? That's why nung nanalo sila, ang nangyari, nagkaroon ng away sa hatian. Obvious yan, very obvious. So, tinanggal si Vic Rodriguez and tinanggal si na spokeswoman, si Attorney Trixie Angeles Angeles, I forgot her name, but Attorney Trixie, na spokesperson nga ni President Marcos, tinanggal siya as spokesperson, at ang daming mga tinanggal, alright? Because that was a transition, really, ng Marcos presidency or administration. At doon nagsilabasan yung mga bumaliktad. And they were claiming we were nabudol, alright? Most notably, Maharlika. Alright? Si Maharlika na halatang finifeed ng mga anti-Marcos talking points, anti-Marcos revelations. Kaya nakuha niya, ito yung speech ni Duterte. So let's use that as our background, alright, for this vlog. Alright, so halatang finifeed si Maharlika ng mga anti-Marcos revelations, yung mga salacious revelations, right? Yung mga leak recordings, etc. So, kanino ba galing yung mga yan kundi sa mga Marcos Duterte na bumaliktad ng mga trolls and minions. Alright. So, doon natin nakita yung away ng dalawang political camps na to. So, I don't subscribe and I don't believe that some kind of expert explanation by these pundits na nabuwag ang unity team nung nagkaroon ng hearing sa confidential funds ni Vice President Sara Duterte, etc., etc. No, that's a lie, and I don't believe that. So, ang unity ng Duterte at Marcos was just for political purposes. Kasi nga, napansin nyo, naalala nyo nung unang tumakbo si Marcos, alright, as Vice President, okay, naalala nyo, yung kanyang running mate, very unusual running mate, I see the late Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. Alright, why did Santiago choose PBBM, knowing her track record na for human rights, etc., bakit niya pinili si Marcos? Kasi, unang-una, sa kanyang part, wala siyang machinery. Right? Wala siyang machinery. Sa pag tumakbo ka as president, kailangan mo na makinarya. You need to spend hundreds of millions of pesos. In the case of Pacquiao, he spent hundreds of millions of his own money, reportedly or allegedly. Saan niya kinuha ng pera? Mayaman naman talaga si Pacquiao, di ba? Senator Pacquiao. Although, nabudol siya kasi niloko siya ng kung sino yung mga nakapaligid sa kanya. Kasi yung mga nakapaligid sa kanya, mga campaign persons, yung mga aides, etc. Binudol siya, niloko siya. He was hoodwinked into running for president. Kasi para sa kanilang personal na interest. Magkakaroon silang job, pera, etc. Yes, man. Although, alam nila sa sarili nila na hindi mananalo yung kanilang manok. At ganun din yung case ni former Manila Mayor Isko Moreno. Diba? Karoon siya ng campaign funds, 40 plus millions according to news, etc. So, pera yan, di ba? Pero, going back to the case of Marcos, di ba si Marcos nga, running mate niya, si former Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. At para kay Marcos naman, kailangan niya ng running mate kasi alam niya, hindi siya mananalo kay Duterte in 2016. Alright? And muntik na siyang nanalo, naniniwala pa rin ako, I'm an anti-Marcos. I've been an anti-Marcos ever since, although I'm an Ilocano. Ilocano po ako, alright? Ilocano po ako, kagaya ng mga Marcoses. Okay, in fact, ang binoto ko, nung 2022 ay si Ping Lacson, former Senator Ping Lacson. But just to give you an idea where I'm coming from. So I'm neither for Duterte nor for Marcos. I'm actually a sideline sitter, all right? Sideline observer, kumbaga. So, yun. So, kagaya ng partnership ni Miriam at saka si Bongbong, it was created out of political necessity para makatakbo sila, di ba? Unfortunately, natalo si Marcos. Pero kagaya ng sinabi ko, dun, yun na dapat yung sasabihin ko na, I actually believe that Marcos won as vice president. Kung hindi dahil sa hocus-pocus na nangyari sa Smartmatic. Kasi ganun din yung nangyari kay Trump noong 2022 or 2020 against Biden. Biglang nag-stop yung counting sa five swing states. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, and I think the last one was Nevada, if I'm not mistaken. Nag-stop yung counting. Panalo si Trump. More than 50% of the votes in all those 5 states. Yung iba mga nasa 70+%. Although may isang state na medyo lamang si Biden. Biglang nag-stop yung counting of votes at past 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And I was watching, switching channels, personally watching the counting. Sabi ko, ano nangyari? Ba't nag-stop yung vote? Panalo na si Trump. And I was expecting that the next day or after a few hours, panalo na si Trump. Biglang may natagpo ang mga mail-in ballots sa mga Democrat counties. And si Biden kasi Democrat. So, may mga, doon kasi, dinaya talaga nilang election. May mga suddenly discovered mail-in ballots in the thousands, kagaya ng nangyari sa Georgia, na biglang yung suitcases of ballots, if you're gonna try to, Google that, suitcases of ballots in Georgia, in Fulton County, if I'm not mistaken, biglang may kinuha silang suitcases of ballots na nakatago sa ilalim ng mga tables. At pinaalis nila yung mga ibang, siguro hindi na nakatropa, mga Democrats lang gusto nilang magbilang. Dahil daw may pipeline, may nag-burst na pipeline, diba? Pinaalis nila ngayon yung iba. Doon, kinount nila yung mga nakalagay doon sa mga dinagdag na mga balota na mail-in, probably fake. So, I'm trying to tell you that just to give you an analogy sa nangyari kay Marcos in 2016. So, although I was and I'm still against the Marcoses. And okay na rin na nanalo si Vice President Robredo, although very slim yung margin niya. So, si Trump din, yung kanyang talo kay Biden sa mga 55 states na yon, na sila yung nag-decide ng election sa America in 2020, unti lang yung lamang, sobrang very slim. It's in the 16,000, more or less 20,000, ganun. So, until now, naniniwala ko na daya si President Trump. But going back to our topic. So, yun, merits of convenience yung nangyari. Kaya nga, yung company ni Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago, I saw that Facebook post, yung kanyang mga campaign staff, na nagtatampo sila, kumbaga nagkakalis sila sa kampo ng kanilang, political partner na mga Marcos at the time, na parang wala silang pakialam sa kay Miriam Defensor. Parang feeling ng kampo ni Miriam Defensor, ginamit lang sila ng mga Marcoses, which is true. At meron pa yung kwento ng isang campaign staff, I saw it on Facebook na parang inichapero lang sila ni Amy Marcos. And the reason why I mentioned Amy Marcos, kasi ganun nga sila. Alright? Ang magkapatid na yan, they love each other. Kasi dumaan sila sa pagsubok nung nasa Amerika sila when they were ousted, when their father was ousted as president in 1986, if I'm not mistaken, 1986. So, yun, blood is thicker than water. Sabi nga ng ateweng ko, okay, I'm Ilocano, so I have this ateweng, kilala ko, na third cousin daw niya, si BBBM. Naniniwala naman ako sa kanya doon kasi may mga kwento-kwento siya about family kasi yung tatay nila galing sa Lawag. Alright? Hindi nga Lawag, Sarat, di ba? Sa mismong town ng mga Marcoses sa Ilocos Norte. Ako naman, taga Ilocos Sur ako. So, anyways, itong ginagawa ni Amy Marcos, nakakaduda, di ba? Na binabanatan niya si House Speaker Martin Romualdez. It's all an act. Alright? What Amy Marcos is doing is all an act. And in fact, I'm gonna show you a video later. Kasi blood is thicker than water. Alright? These Marcoses were trained to be politically savvy. Alright? Since birth. Since they were young. Alright? Since they were young. So, hindi mo matatanggal yung dugo sa kanilang dalawa. Yung binabastos mismo, for example, itong video na to, itong harap-harapang ininsulto, we posted this. Kasi galing to sa rally sa Davao. Ito si Harrieta Roque na natalo as senator under, actually nag-back out pala siya. O natalo ba siya? Anyways, hindi siya naging senador, which is a good thing. Na former speaker during the time of former President Duterte. Harap-harapan niyang ininsulto si Aimee. So, believe din ako kay Aimee. And my theory, this is actually my theory, na it's all an act. Aimee Marcos is an infiltrator. Kasi nga, sa politics nga, di ba, there's no permanent friends, only permanent political self-interests, di ba? So, itong ginagawa ni Aimee Marcos, she's trying to infiltrate the Dutertes. Kasi nga, kung gusto mong malaman yung next steps ng mga kaaway mo, you need to be close to them, di ba? Kailangan nandun ka sa circle. At habang nandun ka sa circle nila, sa inner circle nila, you will definitely know what their next plan is, what their next step is. Pero, hindi rin natin pwedeng i-undermine ang mga Dutertes, yung never ever underestimate your opponents. Alam din siguro nila, malamang, okay, na dinudog show sila ni Senator Marcos, Aimee Marcos, di ba? Kasi pag nasa politika ka, hindi ka dapat parang ordinaryong taong mag-isip, yung mga nabubudol dyan. Kaya nabubudol sila eh. Kasi nga, they don't have I'm not gonna say yung talino. Kumbaga, hindi lang nababasa yung mga pangyayari, you know. Kasi nga hindi sila na-expose sa politics. They can't read, you know, political events, you know, in a clearer way, as I'm gonna probably say we do, di ba? So, kagaya nito, let's listen.
Siguro ang sabi na lang ng ating Mayor Rodi Duterte, isa lang ang aking pagkabiguan. Narariyan pa rin ang pulburon.
Handali, isa lang ang, is that Visaya? Parang isa lang yung bumabagabag sa akin, yun yung ibig sabihin. At yung pulburon, narariyan pa rin ang pulburon. When they say pulburon, alright, they're referring to President Bongbong Marcos. Yan yung ever since, nung pagkatapos nilang nanalo, yung dalawang partner nito, si Sara sa kasi PBBM, nung nanalo sila, dyan na lumabas yung mga pulburon na yan. Nilabas kaagad yan ni Maharlika. Alright, we did some kind of investigation to check kung paano yan nag-start. Alright, alam na nila. Sinabi ni Maharlika sa kanyang mga previous vlogs, alam na pala niya, alam na ng kampo ni Duterte yung pulburon na yan. And in fact, Duterte mentioned that in this speech yesterday. Alright, kaya sinabihan niyang bangag si Bongbong. Bangag yan. Sabi niya, kung bangag si Bongbong noon, bangag si Bongbong na presidente siya. At hindi siya makapaniwala na mayroon tayong drug addict na president. Sabi niya, PI, sabi pa niya, mura pa siya. So anyways,
bago po tayo magpatuloy, nais ko pong batiin ang inyong pinag-aantay-antay. Walang iba kung hindi ang super ate to the president, Senator Aimee Marcos.
Diba? That's an in-your-face insult. Lawyer itong si Harrieta Roque. So, ano ba to? Meron tayong tinatawag na sarcasm ba to? Or is this like, I don't know, an aside? Yung pinaparinggan ba niya si Senator Aimee Marcos? Kasi nga, pagkatapos niya mabanggit yung pulveron, this is not an edited footage. Tuloy-tuloy yan. Except yung the later part. So, pinaparinggan ba niya si Senator Aimee Marcos pagkatapos niyang banggitin yung pulveron? At ito, nandito, makikita niyo dito si...
Naglilinlang.
Okay, pagkatapos niyang pinuri-puri si Suo, okay, Suo, S-W-O-H, means Sara without heart or H, sabi nga nila. So pagkatapos niyang pinuri-puri si VP Sara, na mas nilamangan pa daw niya sa survey, si President Bongbong Marcos, nag-pan yung camera sa dyan, sa part ni, nandyan pala. Akala ko matin si Sara matin siguro siya hindi pumunta sa Davao after, diba? Matin siya sa bagong Pilipinas rally ni Marcos. Umatin daw si Sara. Alright? VP Sara. Tapos umatin din pala siya dito. Kinagabihan na siguro. Alright?
Dahil siya po, hindi naglilinlang. Lalaban sa eleksyon. Kung matatalo, hindi tatakbo. Hindi gaya ni Tambalusnos. Hindi mananalo. Babaguhin ang saligang batas.
Magaling acting tong si Aimee Marcos. Diba? Kung tama ako, she's a great infiltrator. But like I said, never underestimate the Dutertes kasi malamang sa malamang alam din nila yung karakas ni Senator Aimee, di ba? Kumbaga pati rin si Sara, di ba? Tahimik lang siya, di ba? Kumbaga chami-chami siya kay PBBM pa rin, di ba? Despite the fact na yung kapatid niya na si Baste, he called for the resignation of PBBM at pati si former President Rodrigo Duterte. Sila magkakapatid except Sara. Kasi si Sara din syempre, gusto rin niyang mag-infiltrate sa inner circle ng mga Marcoses. Although, siguro mas mahirapan siya doon. Di ba? Kasi nga, dahil sa mga kapatid niya at si former President Duterte.
Ang tanong, mga taga Davao, payag ba kayo?
So ito yung part.
Dahil kayo ang
Yan, magte-text siya ngayon. Sino kaya ang iti-text ni Super Ate Aimee?
na manindigan laban
Tingnan
sa
nyo.
puwersa ng kadiliman ngayong gabi.
Puwersa ng kadiliman. Sino ba? Kundi ang kapatid mo, Aimee. So, iniinsulto ka sa harap-harap mo. Di ba? Blood is thicker than water nga, di ba? Itong mga to, mga kalyado ni Duterte, wala naman lang sila. Hindi naman nila kaano-ano si Duterte. They're just loyal minions, right? Na alam nila na yung political currency ng mga Duterte is still strong. At kaya pa rin na makapagpanalo ng mga senador and lower positions in the next elections. So that's why, pati si Willie Revillame nandyan sa rally. Para nga siyang star eh. Si Willie Revillame, na former talent ng ABS-CBN at kung ano-ano pa, pati GMA at TV5 ata, siya yung parang finale, siya yung nag-present kay Duterte bago siya mag-speech. So, yung nakikita niyo yung weight ng ganung participation sa performance na yan. So, it's a political performance really na nagpa-kon pa siya, yung nagpa-game pa siya, yung usual game, hindi ako nanonood kasi kay Willie. So, yun. So, tatakbo rin si Willie sa ticket ng mga Duterte. So, yung political currency ng mga Duterte, malakas pa rin. Okay? So, ito. Kaya, ang dami nakapaligid sa kanila, pati si Roque, hanggang si Roque, dikya yan. Di ba? Dikya siya. Isa siyang parasite na nakadikit sa mga Duterte. Kasi nga, pagkatapos, kahit hindi siya nanalo as senator, alright? Nanalo si Nabongo, nanalo si Bato, di ba? Yung mga kapartido, yung mga kakosa, katropa ni Duterte, hindi man nanalo si Harriet Roque, hindi man siya bumalik sa pagiging lawyer. And nabigyan siya ng job sa SMNI. Di ba? SMNI. And who's funding SMNI? Dahil nabanggit na natin yung SMNI. Di ba? Bago nangyari itong mga to, nagkaroon ng squabble, nagkaroon ng matinding political events. Di ba? Ininbisagahan ngayon si Apollo Kibuloy na sabi nila may-ari daw talaga ng SMNI, although may transfer of ownership na nangyari prior. Kasi nga dahil ininbisagahan si Apollo Kibuloy ng FBI, di ba? Sa human trafficking, sexual assault, etc. cases and charges. So, the past few days, ininbisagahan ang SMNI ni Senator Risa Hontiveros, di ba? Na sabi natin opposition, pero politics is all about leverage. Okay? Siyempre, may basbas din yan. Okay? Alam din yan ng mga Marcoses. Di ba? Yung nangyari. So, ito ngayon, kaya galit na galit ang mga Duterte. So, di ba? Kaya ang SMNI, kahit hindi siya kumikita. At saan ba nanggagaling yung kanilang pondo? Di ba? I mean, for example, they were paying veteran journalist Jay Sonsa na aresto noong August, way back in August sa kanyang staffa cases daw at panluloko, di ba? Swindling. Nalaman natin sa hearing ng SMNI sa Kongreso, okay? Because they were investigating SMNI's potential violations of their franchise. Na si Jay Sonsa pala ay communications consultant ng SMNI and he is being paid 1 million peso. So, I need to mention that just to give you an idea why. Para kay Harriet Roque na, pera-pera lang yan eh. Diba? And we don't know how much he's being paid as an anchor or host or, I don't know, employee or talent of SMNI. But it's all about money. Hindi siya nabakante, di ba? Nawalan siyang trabaho sa pagiging spokesperson. Hindi siya hinire. He was never hired by the Marcos administration. At yun yung dahilan kung bakit sila galit na galit at atat sila na bumalik sa kapangyarihan. And we're going to talk about that. Makakabalik nga ba sila? Although, Duterte, somehow, I don't know, tinis niya, he teased his supporters in Davao na babalik ako. Then pumalakpak sila. Pero sabi niya, imposible na yan, parang gano'n. Milagro na yan. But we know Duterte to be meron, kumbaga kon siya, budol man. Yung sinabi niya ngayon, iba na yung sasabihin niya next. Meron siyang ganung track record. So, hindi tayo dapat naniniwala sa isang politiko kagaya ni Duterte na nabuhay sa politika. But anyways, going back to to Harry Roque. So yun, ang daming mga nakaaligid pa rin kay Duterte kasi they understand the political currency of Duterte. It's still strong. Kumbaga, sa Bitcoin, malakas pa rin. Alright? Hindi siya kagaya ng mga ibang mga cryptocurrency na pabagsak na. Magra-rug pull na. Diba? So, anyways, watch this. As you can see here, di ba kanina, si Senator Amy, she started to look at her phone and she was probably texting or looking something sa kanyang phone. Biglang siyang kakalabitin. Kakalabitin siya ngayon ni Suo or Sarah. Tapos yung, if you try to read her lips, parang sabi, oh my God, nagulat siya.
Primary initiative, we are not for sale.
Or acting lang yun. Ano sabi? Si PBBM ba yung tinuturo nila? Yun siguro yung inaakyat nila si Duterte pala. Si Duterte ba yung tinuturo nila?
Abay sabi niya, mag-lecture ka ng mahaba dahil darating pa si PRRD. Nag-lecture naman ako. Pero ngayon lang tumating.
So anyways, ayun na natin kay Harry Roque. Isa siyang very loyal, pero hindi natin masasabing balimbing, di ba? But, pupunta tayo sa speech muna ni Duterte. So, meron tayong short video dito na kung saan, para ito na lang, dito tayo sa shorts, alright? Okay, so this is Duterte's speech. Na sinasabi niya na drug addict daw si President.
Ganun, huwag kayo magpalukot. Alam mo, Parliament, ang ambisyon niyan, karamihan, galing kay Lisa Marcos.
What? So, sinasabi niya doon na ang ambisyon daw ni PBBM.
Tayo ng magandang opisina where we can meet and talk about the destiny of this country.
Alright.
Doon, they agree.
At ang hinang audio.
Poste, mga malaking poste, it is still
Alright, medyo mahina yung audio nun, so let's go back here.
Bangag yan.
Bangag yan. What a thing to say.
Sinasabi ko na sa inyo ngayon, si Bongbong Marcos, bangag noon.
Medyo may anxiety dun eh. Ito si Attorney Panelo, is my former professor. Si Bongo, at kung sino-sino pa.
Yung presidente na, bangag natin ang presidente.
Bangag daw ang presidente natin.
Kayong mga military, alam niyo yan. Lalo na yung sa Malacanang. Alam niyo, the armed forces of the Philippines na may drug addict tayo na presidente, putang inang yan.
Alright, so sinabi yon ni Duterte, may drug addict tayong president, and that's exactly our headline here. Duterte calls PBBM bangag, claims he's a drug addict, then warns him of ouster like his late dictator father. So, sabi natin dito, accusing the Marcoses of seeking to perpetuate their power, Duterte targeted President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, branding him as bangag, a derogatory term in Filipino suggesting drug use or addiction. But he did not just suggest, he actually claimed that President Marcos is a drug addict, and we have a drug addict as president, as he said. So that is rich, coming from someone who was accused of being, the lord of all drug lords in southern Philippines by his ex-DDS trusted aide, na si Arturo Las Cañas, di ba? Di ba? So, all of them are alleging, things. Although sinasabi niya na alam daw ng militar yan. Of course, alam din ng militar tungkol sa kwento ng mga Duterte. So, kung may intel sila about PBBM, at they are using this pulveron scandal or tactic to target the president. And I'm not, alright? I am not defending PBBM here. Alright? I'm just saying that all of them are making allegations. Alright? Kung may allegations ka, just prove it. So, why try to use your platform and iput mo siya sa spotlight? Just provide evidence. Diba? Pero yung pagiging drug addict ni PBBM, I'm good with that. Basta ayaw ko lang ang isa pang Duterte sa power. Because we've had a Duterte as president. At nalaman natin na hindi maganda yung resulta ng isang Rodrigo Duterte as president. So for example, let me give you examples why Rodrigo Duterte was one of our worst presidents ever. Alright? One thing is the fact that nung umalis siya, dinoble niya yung utang natin. Alright? from 6 point or 5 point, more or less 6 trillion pag alis ni former President Noynoy Aquino. In fact, nagbayad pa nga siya ng 1 trillion, di ba? Nung pag-alis niya. And hindi rin ako Aquino supporter. In fact, when Aquino was president, I was a critic. But anyways, pag-alis niya, more or less 6 trillion yung utang natin. Nung dumating si Duterte, umutang siya 6.7 by my count. More or less 6.7 trillion yung kanyang dinagdag. So kumbaga, more than pa yung combined debt o inutang ng lahat ng presidente natin, yung inutang ni Duterte lang sa kanyang 6-year presidency. So imagine niyo yung automatic na na bayad natin sa payment natin sa credit. Ilang billion yan, ilang daang billion yan. Just to cover yung inutang ni Duterte na 6 trillion pesos. Alright? Yung interest, sabihin natin interest 3% o sabihin natin 1% yung interest niya. So, ang laki, di ba? Malaki pa rin yan. Yung interest ng kanyang utang, pwede nang, yung inutang lang, I'm not speaking of the whole 14 trillion debt kasi sabi nila 14 trillion na utang ng Pilipinas, di ba? Yung inutang pa lang ni Duterte, sobrang laki na. Kung i-check natin yung kanyang interest, di ba? Siguro more or less 100 billion pesos. And ang dami ng project niya na magagawa. Ang dami, mga schools and all that shit. Di ba? Isa pa, when he was president, he weaponized the DOJ and all the levers of the government against his critics. For example, one, he weaponized the Bucor and the DOJ as well. The DOJ used ex-convicts and convicts to go after a sitting senator, Laila de Lima. Diba? That's corruption. That's political corruption. To go after your political opponents, diba? Okay, using bogus witnesses. At yan ngayon yung iniiyak ni Kibuloy na, okay, Riza Ontiveros is using bogus witnesses. Bogus witnesses? Are you kidding me? Kasi nga, yung case ni Kibuloy naman kasi, na-dismiss naman talaga ng mga Davao prosecutors noong 2019. Ano i-expect mo, di ba? Alright? Davao City prosecutors. Si Kibuloy, ganun sila ni Digong. Alright? So what do you expect? Talagang expected na mababasura yung kaso ng mga accusers ni Kibuloy. So going back kay Duterte, another reason, yung kanyang drug war na failure, unang-una pa lang, since 2016, sinabi ko na, and I have this Facebook page, na mas nauna pa dito sa The Daily Netizen Facebook page, na his drug war is going to fail miserably. And I was right. Kasi nga, walang lahat, pati yung drug war sa US. Di ba? And ngayon, meron na siyang, dahil nag-fail yung kanyang drug war, he created a new war. And his new war is this war against communism, against CPP-NPA, despite the fact that when he was a mayor in Davao and then he became president in 2016, he was a communist cuddler. Alright? Communist cuddler siya, di ba? Gusto pa niyang bigyan ng cabinet position si Joe Masison at ang ibang leaders ng CPP-NPA. At ayaw niyang tawaging enemy ang mga CPP-NPA. Tinulungan pa siya ng CPP-NPA. At gusto pa ng CPP-NPA na itulungan siya sa pagpuksa ng drugs sa Pilipinas. Despite the fact that according to Arturo Las Cañas, si Duterte daw ay drug lord, lord of all drug lords. So, itong mga to, allegations to, pero meron ding nag-allege. Okay, wag tayong magkaroon ng double standard. If Duterte can accuse, alright, President Marcos of being a drug addict, and I can accept that, alright, that's still a lesser evil compared to Duterte. Then, let's look at the allegations against Duterte as well, being the lord of all drug lords in Southern Mindanao, and his son, Paulo Duterte, alright, the congressman in Davao who got 51 billion in unaccounted funds. Alright? Unprogrammed funds daw. 51 billion in just span of 3 years. Saan mo dadali yung 51 billion? Isa ka lang na congressman. So, di ba sabi nga nila, zero-sum game ang labanan pagdating sa budget. Kasi kung may mas malaking budget, kung lalakihan mo yung budget ng isang politiko, may madi-deprive din ng budget. At sino yung madi-deprive ng budget? At saan napunta yung 50 billion? Nagngangawa-ngawa pa itong si Paulo Duterte kasi hindi lang siya binigyan ng 2 billion. Kumbaga, nakat pa daw yung kanyang 2 billion budget. Di ba? Kumbaga, itong mga Dutertes, these are self-entitled brats. Masyado silang self-entitled. Di ba? Dito sa accusation, yung accusation ni Las Cañas napunta rin sa ICC. Kumbaga, nagkaroon siya ng depositions And those depositions were submitted. Depositions, ito yung recorded testimony na kung sakaling mamamatay ka, di ba, ay napupreserve yan. At kung kahit wala ka na, that will still be accepted in the court of law as valid and authentic. Diba? So, ang dami yung mga allegations kay Duterte na ito, DDS hitman alleged Shabu Labs. Linked to Duterte claims former president is the lord of all drug lords. Diba? Yung sinasabi niya na they even planned to assassinate former Senator Antonio Trillanes at papalabasin nilang parang nag-car accident yung kanyang pagkamatay. And also, ang dami. Yung mga namatay na kumbaga ang sabi niya is like collateral damage na namatay dahil sa kagaguhan nitong si Paulo Duterte. Diba? Ganun sila kasiba. Alright? And para sa Ilocano kasi so nakikita ko talaga na, ano ba yung mga chavit? The good thing about the Singsons in Ilocos is that hanggang local politics na sila. They you know, kahit sikat si Chavit dahil sa kanyang yate at mga yaman na, di ba, sa pagiging, sabi nila, dating embalsamador, imposibleng makuha mo yung ganung yaman kahit politika lang yan, di ba? Galing sa politika lang ang pera. Kahit sabi nating naging businessman ka, hindi. Without the help of political money, Chavit would not have been able to, amass those great wealth, di ba? So anyways, nakikita ko yung similarities ng politics sa Davao saka sa Ilocos Sur. At ang mga Marcoses, ito, si Digong galit na galit. Kasi nga, di ba, gusto niya makabalik sa kapangyarihan kasi nga, this is all about an old man, na nakakarma na. Alright? Kinakarma na siya. So dahil, nandyan na yung, kumbaga, maghuhukom sa kanya ang ICC. At it can be used by, the Marcos administration as leverage against the Dutertes. Pero palaban din itong mga Duterte, no? After what they've done so far today, na inaccuse nila ang President Bongbong Marcos as a drug user, alright? That's a big accusation. Isa pa, was he inciting to sedition? Nag-i-incite ba siya ng ating military para destabilize at mag-commit ng sedition? Because looks like
wala kayong prinsipyo,
that
pera kayo lahat.
Is what he's trying to do.
Presidential, lahat kayo, ako, ikaw, lahat.
Arestuin ko.
Nagboboto, direct vote, tapos parliament. Presidential, tapos parliament. Ang presidential, lahat kayo, ako, ikaw, lahat. Hanggang doon, nagboboto, direct vote. Nandyan ang military, pati police, makinig kayo. Kagaya noong panahon na pinalayas ito. Gusto mo, sabi ko nga sa iyo, kung gubernan, pintuin mo, kasi papain mo ang termino. Gusto mo, sabi ko nga sa iyo,
okay.
Kaibigan kita.
Balik tayo.
Pag pinilit mo ito,
ang hina naman audio.
Lalabas ka ng Malacanang, kagaya noong panahon
okay.
na pinalayas.
Okay, pag pinilit daw ang People's Initiative, lalabas, maa-oust daw, kumbaga mapapatalsik daw si Marcos kagaya ng pagpapatalsik sa kanyang ama. I mean, this is coming from a former president. Maintindihan ko yan na walang bearing yan pag galing lang sa kung sino-sino. Kahit pa kayo sabihin natin kay Roque, di ba? O kahit sino. Pag senador yan, di ba? Pero galing sa isang former president who has very strong, still, like I said, yung political currency niya matindi pa rin. Right? Mayroon siyang political sway, may political influence siya. May mga kaalyado siyang mga nasa military. Is this not a clear case of inciting to sedition or destabilization? Okay? I don't know. At ito, sinabi rin ng kanyang anak na si Baste, di ba? Na resign daw si BBM. Alright? Kasi daw, hindi na sila masaya. Okay?
Alam ninyo, kung hindi na talaga ito mapigilan,
okay.
Nandyan ang military pati police, makinig kayo.
Okay.
Pag-aralan ninyo kung ano yung pinapakain nila sa taong bayan. At pagka nakita ninyo,
at least hindi galing sa utang.
You correct it.
You correct it.
Sa inyong kamay.
You correct it. Sa inyong kamay. So is he trying to influence the military? Is Duterte trying to influence the military, trying to incite them into committing treason, sedition, etc. So it's like you have the power, all right, to correct things, and that power is in your hands. Do it now, or I don't know.
Ganito yung plano.
Oh, ano yung plano?
Presidential, tapos parliament. Ang presidential, lahat kayo, ako, ikaw, lahat, hanggang doon, nagboboto.
All right. Okay, I agree. I'm against this people's initiative. All right, I'm against that. Ito kasi ito yung difference ng ni PBBM lalo versus former President Rodrigo Duterte. Si Duterte masyado siyang maingay, masyado siyang matalak yung bibig niya. So, kaya kino-compare siya kay Trump, pero hindi ganyan si Trump, hindi siya ganun kabobo. Itong ginagawa ni Duterte, it's political stupidity. Whatever he's doing is political stupidity. Samantalang si, I'm holding this laptop kasi ang hina eh. Samantalang si PBBM, I don't know, it's probably, is it something na can be attributed to the fact that hindi siya nakagraduate? Pero kahit hindi siya nakagraduate, sabi nila, matalino siya. Meron siyang utak. Hindi siya, syempre, may pera sila. Diba? Yung influence ng mga Marcos, nandiyan pa rin yung mga loyalists. Lalo yung mga Ilocano dyan. Ilocano rin ako. Pero, reserved. I don't know if I would call it na, yeah, I think he's politically reserved. Reserved siya, hindi siya yung maingay. Na nasa loob yung kulo niya, kagaya ng tatay din niya. Alright? Hindi man niya namana yung talino ng kanyang tatay kasi namana niya yung utak niya sa mga Romualdez, hindi matalino masyado. Namana niya yung pagiging politically savvy niya, calculating niya sa kanyang tatay. At yun din yung namana yung kanyang ate. Diba? Political calculating sila. At hindi ganoon si Duterte. Although si Duterte, marunong siya. I mean, he's a political tactician, pero yung kanyang downfall ay yung kanyang bibig niya. Alright? Masyado siyang maingay. Pero minsan kasi si Duterte, although maingay siya, pero doble cara siya. Hindi niya, yung sinabi niya ngayon, hindi yun totoo. Alright? Kaya minsan yung mga kalyado siya, alam ng mga kalyado niya na nambobola lang si Duterte, di ba? At yung mga supporters yung medyo may utak din. Alam nila kung kailan nabubudol at nabobola si Duterte. Pero in the case of Marcos here, I think nakakalamang si Marcos dito kasi hindi natin alam yung action. Kaya sila nagpapanik na ngayon. Kaya si Bato, Senator Bato de la Rosa sa kanyang interview sa ANC, diba? Okay, hindi naniniwala si Bato kay PBBM. Pero sabi niya, okay, kung anong gusto ng president, susundin ko, sabi ni Senator Bato de la Rosa sa kanyang interview kay Karen Davila. Pero nandun pa rin makikita mo na alam nila na politically calculating si PBBM na kung ano yung decision. Hindi nababasa siguro nila pero hindi nila alam yung kanyang next actions. Kagaya ngayon, nagugulat na ngayon sila, tapos na pala ang ICC sa kanilang investigation. Diba? Yung, sabi niya, urong-sulong daw si PBBM, pero tactic niya yun. Diba? Kaya hindi bobo si PBBM. Hindi siya bobo. Alright? Ako, although in-underestimate ko siya nun, ngayon, never underestimate your political enemy because if you do that, that's gonna be the cause of your downfall. At yan yung ginagawa ngayon ng mga Dutertes. They've been underestimating the Marcoses since day one. Ginamit ng pulveron. Kaya yung pulveron lumabas after New Year. And I had this debate with Greco Belgica or Belgica, dating chairman ng PACC, ng Anti-Graft and Corruption, na they were talking about pulveron. As when I was talking about pulveron, ito yung, just to show you what I'm talking about. Just to show you what I'm talking about here. So, lahat sila, ang bukang bibig ng mga DDS, pulveron. Alright? And this was January 8. Alright? Lahat sila talking about pulveron, Belgica, Harry Roque talking about wanting to have the president undergo drug test. Si Maharlika, lumabas din sinasabi ni Maharlika na mayroon daw 10 million na money na gustong nilalako daw yung pulveron video for 10 million pesos, etc. So this was the start of the stabilization that failed this year. So gusto nilang maging bombastic yung pulveron, explosive, pero hindi nangyari. Pero nangyari, may first attempt din daw last year. At yun yung lumabas si Browner, AFP chief, Romeo Browner, lumabas siya na he was talking about this destabilization, but he recanted his speech saying, okay, it's just an attempt. Okay, it's not a plot. It's hindi na plot. Kumbaga, he tried to, I don't know, ano yung reason niya doon kung bakit niya dinowngrade yung kanyang statement about the coup plot. Just probably, syempre, naiintindihan natin na ayaw nilang maalarma yung mga business. men, di ba? So Browner had to be calculating, you know, his trying to clear the matter about the stabilization plot, di ba? Kasi nga business is at stake that time. So mahirap nga namang magkaroon ng alarm or scandal sa at maapektuhan yung investment sa Pilipinas kung aminin mong may ganun. Siyempre, they had to quell or resolve that issue secretly. Right. Now, going back to this, the pulveron, pati ngayon, pulveron pa rin yung sinasabi nila. Alright. But like I said, between Duterte and Marcos, okay, I'm going for the lesser evil, which is Marcos. Pero yung tactic-wise, alright, mas matalino si Marcos. Hindi mo siya mabasa. At si Ivy, putang ina. I'm sorry. I have to swear. This has to be, children-friendly, family-friendly vlog. But yes, PI. Ang galing ni Ivy kung talagang ginagawa niya yon. Yung, kumbaga, he was like, it's like the Queen's Gambit. Chess move. Alright? Like, trying to kick Romualdez under the bus. But that's actually a political move. Kunwari lang. Because they know that they have the power and that blood is thicker than water. Nothing will happen to Romualdez, even though she's, trying to attack him in public or in the media, right? But then, by doing that, he was able to gain the trust of the Dutertes. But like I said, never underestimate the Dutertes. But if Amy Marcos is doing that to gain the trust of the Dutertes, and she was able to get into the inner circle and was able to get information because here, data and information are wealth, are gold. Nagda-data mining si Ate Amy. Ay, ang galing-galing niya, di ba? Palakpakan natin si Ate Amy kung ganun man yung ginagawa niya. Kasi nga, why? Kasi yun yung kanyang nature ever since, di ba? Yung sinabi ko sa iyo. That's why I mentioned about yung lamentation ng kampo ni Miriam Santiago na ganun yung mga Marcoses. Kasi ganun sila. Alright? It's all about the family. Alright? Sabihin na natin Romualdez si Martin, family pa rin siya. Imelda is there. Si Imelda, I don't know kung malakas pa si Imelda, kung gumagana pa rin yung utak niya. Pero, magkakamag-anak naman, blood is thicker than water. Right? Now,
palitan ninyo na arestuhin ninyo
arestuhin.
Kasi nagsasayang ng pera.
Okay. Di ba? The gall and audacity of this old man to say that when, he abused his power when he was president. Yung sinasabi na mas kaunti daw ang crime during the time of Duterte. I think he should thank COVID pandemic for that kasi nagkaroon ng lockdown. Hindi ka tayo makalabas. So, hindi makakalabas yung mga pusher, yung mga kriminal. Gets mo? 2 years na we were locked down. Alright? 2 years tayong walang mobility. Yung mga kriminal lalo walang mobility. So, nag-away-away sila. So, at saka yung militarize yung lockdown. Pag-aalis ka, ang gumagawa ng krimen yung mga maliliit na di ba? Yung mga tanod, sila yung mga nang-aabuso, sila yung cause ng crime that time, di ba? Yung binaril na may diferensya sa utak. For example, Winston, at yung pangalan nun, I forgot. So, crime that time was perpetrated by the government. At mababa ang krimen pagdating sa droga kasi nga dahil sa lockdown. Okay? Intindihin niyo yun. Alright? So, huwag niyo i-compare nung lockdown noon. So, are you saying now that mas maganda pa pala yung lockdown? Yun ba yung gusto niyong sabihin, mga DDS kayo? Na mas okay pa na ikulong tayo at militarize na kunting labas lang natin, kunting violation, pwede tayong huliin at pwede tayong abusuhin o pwede tayong, saktan, yung dadalhin sa ilalim ng init ng araw at parusahan. Yun ba yung gusto nyo? Because that actually helped in terms of crime rates, yung mga crime rates na ginagawa ng mga ordinaryong tao. So, itong away ng Dutertes versus the Marcoses and Romualdez is all about political power. Alright? Regardless of what their minions tell you, it's all about, for example, Duterte going back to power kasi nga, natakot sila sa ICC. Alright? Imagine, Duterte, his daughter, Sara Duterte, the minions, Senators Bongo and Bato, were in the list of being investigated by the ICC. Alright? So, yun yung dahilan kung bakit the Dutertes need to get back to power. Kaya sabi niya, makakabalik pa ba ako? Sabi niya, imposible. Pero kung babalik ako, aarestuhin ko silang lahat. So, anyways, let's listen.
That you bought the signature of a Filipino bribery.
Bribery daw. So, they're using the PI or People's Initiative.
Magdasal lang kayo.
Mhm. Dasal.
By the grace of God, mabalik ako.
Yan. Yan. Mabalik ako. Maasa pa talaga siya. Yung mga supporters niya. Duterte. Duterte. Duterte.
Milagro lang naman yan.
Mm. Yan yung style ni Duterte, no?
Mabalik ako. Arestuhin ko kayo lahat.
Okay.
For the swindling of the Filipino people. You committed fraud.
Sino babalik sa'yo? Ang China?
Kailangan ninyo ang pera namin.
Okay.
People's Initiative does not involve by
Okay. This is coming from the man na may family scandals, alright? Yung mga Chinese businessman, etc., who abused his power when he was in office. Alright? Regarding yung mga namatay, libo-libo daw, 5,000, yung iba 12,000. Right? Regardless of the number, alright? If he actually encouraged cops or the military men or the police officers to shoot to kill, alright? If he's given them shoot to kill order, kasi yung command, you know, nasa iyo yung command eh, di ba? Nasa iyo yung power as president. So wag kang padalos-dalos, wag kang magbigay ng medyo unclear na order. Kasi nga, pag sinabi mo yun, aabusuhin yan. Alright? Parang ginagawa mo ba yan? Sinasadya mo bang unclear, sabi mong joke-joke lang yung shoot to kill order mo? Or hindi ka seryoso? Alright? Just to avoid the responsibility kasi may tinatawag tayong plausible deniability, di ba? Na pwede mo namang i-deny na inutos ko yun kasi nga hindi naman ako seryoso, nagjo-joke lang ako. Pwede mo bang sabihin yun kung nangyari na, di ba? Ang dami may quota pa ang mga nasa PNP daw. Nabigyan sila ng kumbaga quota, right, to meet. If you use that as an incentive, yung tipong paramihan kayo ng nahuling may droga. And some game the system, alright, kung sino-sino lang hinuli nila, kahit walang kasalanan. Kasalanan mo, friend. Responsibility mo, friend. Kasi nga, unclear your order mo and you created a cycle or an environment that can be easily abused by enterprising, corrupt, and rogue cops. Di ba? Yun yung ginawa mo. So anyways, let's listen. Hawak-hawak tong laptop ko. Hindi ko marinig.
Talagang mga wala kayong prinsipyo ng utang.
Galing kay Digong.
Yung sa likod ko.
Okay. Okay. That's wala. Yan yung patusada ng isang matandang wala nang kapangyarihan. The question is, mayroon ba silang influence or clout or power, lingering power, to affect yung mga sinasabi nilang or ini-insinuate nilang ouster na magaya ka sa tatay mo, sinasabi nila, against kay PBBM. Meron ba sila nun? Saan nanggagaling yun? Military? No. Kahit sabihin natin, okay, ito yung scenario, and this is my honest opinion and reading on this matter. Alright? Sabihin na natin, na nasa kanila yung militar, nasa kanilang mga PMA graduates. Kasi nga may lumabas si Johnny Macanas, for example, hindi naman PMA grad, pero nandyan, for example, itong isang general na taga-PMA. Isa lang siya, pero nagdududa ako sa kanya eh. I forget his name. Anyway, so, na siguro plant siya. Or PSYOP, I don't know. Para lang malaman yung mga kung sino talaga yung mga nagpaplano to infiltrate them. So, sabihin na natin, nasa kanya ang 51% of the military support. Wala pa rin. Nasa China, galing China yung pera. Support lang ng China. To be honest, hindi papayag ang US government. Alright? I'm against US government as well. I mean, not really against the US government, but only the Biden administration, the Democrat administration in the United States. Nandyan ang US government and they have. Kaya nga, ayaw na ayaw yung mga bakit ba ayaw na ayaw? Galit na galit yung mga Duterte pag may military exercise between US and Philippine National Forces, ang Philippine military. Bakit ba? Napansin niyo ba yun? Bakit galit na galit sila? Bakit ayaw nilang nandito ang mga US military? Hindi mo natanong yun. Diba? Kasi nga, okay, are the Dutertes banking on a possible military coup to install Sarah? Kasi nandyan yung, di ba? Nakalimutan ko yung military na yun eh. I forgot his name. Na long retired na. We did a story about him, actually. PMA, Macanas. Ito. itong matandang 'to. Nasabi ko sa'yo of 'to, si Dado Enrique pala, I forgot, Clemente Dado Enrique, 'di ba? Sabihin na natin na sa kanilang 51%. Meron siyang 6 scenarios na sinabi na papalit si Sara, it's either mag-resign si PBBM, o ayaw mag-resign, papalit he will be forcibly ousted, and si Sara ang papalit, or pwedeng si Duterte, sabi niya, or military, etc. No, that's not gonna happen. Why? Because the US government is here, and the US government is itching to have an action in Asia, especially in the Asia Pacific. And that is their way to get in the Philippines military affairs. Diba? Yung adventurism ng military to be incited by the Dutertes, that's a boon for the US military, for Pentagon, for the deep state to get in. So they're playing fire here. They're so stupid if they do that. Kasi nga, if they were able to get into Ukraine that easily, all right, push Ukraine to war against Russia, peanuts lang yan sa Pilipinas. What the heck? Ang galit-galit sila eh, pagdating sa Ukraine. Ayaw ko mangyari yan, pero these Dutertes, if they continue with their stupidity and political and military adventurism, trying to incite the military to committing treason or sedition, into committing treason or sedition, that's a good thing for the US military, for Pentagon, for CIA, deep state, lahat na. They can get in justified and quell the rebellion against the Marcos administration. Because why? Because Marcos, all right, sabihin ko na to, Marcos is a WEF young leader guy, all right, just like Maria Ressa. They will, the globalists, or I'm against them. This sounds like a conspiracy theory, but young global leader si Bong Marcos and the globalists who are way more powerful. Kumbaga, si Duterte, ganyan lang siya. They can kill anyone. Right? They can kill anyone. If they could push a country into war against Russia, wala yan. Wala ang mga Duterte dito. Alright? So, wag niyong gawin yan. Alright? Don't ever do that just because you're afraid of the ICC. And by the way, the ICC, they are part of the globalists. And yes, yung mga sinasabi ng yung mga pro-Duterte na dahil galit siya sa US. Well, not really US, but Democrat-led US. Kasi kapag Democrats ang nasa kapangyarihan sa US, nagiging corrupt sila. Nagkakaroon ng gera, ng wars, global wars. Right? Only Trump stop wars. That's why I want Trump back. Alright? Ang ICC, yes, na kasama yan sa mga Democrats, mga globalists. And that's why si Duterte, takot na takot sila ngayon because they know who they're up against. Alright? And yung ICC leverage ngayon ni Marcos yan. Kasama si Sara dyan. And the question is, will Marcos let the ICC arrest and jail with their help and permission, of course? Interpol nandyan. Sara Duterte to stop her from running in 2028 and her father and the rest. Papa-arresto ba niya? Yun yung tanong. Yun yung leverage siya ngayon. Kaya yung mga Duterte na to, hindi sila nag-think, doon kayo sa far away. Diba? Diba? Sarap duraan. Diba? Hindi sila nag-think. Alright? Ito yung pinaka-stupidest action ni Duterte so far. Akala niya na sobrang kapangyarihan niya. But, si Marcos, chill-chill lang siya, di ba? Okay? Hindi mo alam kung ano yung next action niya. But, come second quarter of the year, third or fourth, we don't know, nandyan yung kanyang rest back. And they cannot oust the Marcos administration. Again, I'm not in favor, I'm not pro-Marcos. I voted for Ping Lacson. But, I would like to keep this setup, this status quo, kesa sa magkaroon tayo ng Duterte 2.0, di ba? Huwag naman. At the expense of our freedom. Kasi nasa kanilang China eh. Sabi natin, pro-China sila. They will be backed by China. They will be funded probably by China. We don't know. Pero looks like that's happening. Alright? Who's funding them? By they, I'm referring to the Dutertes. Pero, again, political adventurism on the part of the Dutertes, it's gonna be quelled. Like, snapped. Para silang tiniris. They don't have the power. Their only hope is elections. Yes, aminado ako. Malakas si Sara. But, if Marcos is going to use the same tactic that the Democrats are using against Trump in the US. And I'm pro-Trump. I want Trump back in 2024. Lahat na. Kinasuhan na siya. They want to stop Trump from being on the ballots. Right? Pag ginamit yan ni Marcos through the ICC against Sara Duterte, tapos na sila. Pag pinaras to, okay, wala tayong magagawa. Sasabihin niya, we need to respect the human rights power of the ICC. Sabihin nila, or I don't know, kung sino man gagawa ng speech niya. We need to rule of law, sabihin nila. Kasi partner tayo ng ICC na until Duterte stopped Philippines being part of the ICC for self-preservation, di ba? Kumbaga, part pa rin ng rule of law. Pero, ang sabi ng Supreme Court, still respect the ICC, di ba? Pero illegal yung ginawa hindi siya, kumbaga, unconstitutional yung ginawa ni Duterte sa pag-stop sa ICC. Kasi nga, self-serving, okay? Just to save his ass. Anyways, exciting, di ba? Papunta pa lang tayo sa exciting part. Pero nakakalungkot na dumating tayo sa puntong ito. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And have a good one to all of you. Peace.